You'll have over 100,000 conversations in your lifetime. Why not get really good at them? After all, every friendship, partnership, or job offer begins with a conversation. Master this one skill, and your life will be richer. Unfortunately, most conversation advice is vague and terrible. That's why I dove into the greatest communication books to find specific, practical techniques that actually work. Here are 5 vital conversation lessons that I learned. I call them the 5 conversation commandments. Conversation commandment number 1. Thou shalt be genuinely interested. In How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie writes, "You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you." Before a conversation, don't waste time thinking about personal stories that you can share. Instead, focus on what interesting stories you can get out of others. Start by taking the FORD acronym for a drive and imagine what interesting things may have recently happened in their family, occupation, recreational time, or ambitious pursuits, aka dreams. Family. What activities are their kids really enjoying these days? Occupation. What's the most surprising thing that's happened in their job this past month? Recreational time. Are there any excellent restaurants, activities, or local events they've really enjoyed lately? Dreams. What's something they're building or working toward that lights them up? By wondering what interesting things are happening in their 4 life areas, you'll build genuine anticipation for the conversation. It's like reading the first chapter of a book that ends on a cliffhanger. You're already hooked and eager to find out what happens next. Conversation commandment number 2. Thou shalt maximize their charisma. Some people pull you into a conversation and make you feel special. Other people are distracted, uncomfortable, and awkward, which leave you searching for an excuse to escape a conversation. The difference isn't God-given gifts, but a learnable skill we call charisma. In the charisma myth, Olivia Fox Cabane breaks it down into 3 teachable qualities: presence, warmth, and power. The first 2 are easy to get good at if you follow the first conversation commandment and are genuinely interested in what people have to say. When you're truly interested, you naturally become more engaged. You create the feeling that there's nowhere else you'd rather be. Plus, when you actually care about what someone's saying, you're showing them you value them as a person, which conveys a sense of warmth. Ensure someone feels your warmth the instant they see you by using a technique from How to Talk to Anyone called the flooding smile. When you first see someone, pause for just a second. Take them in. Then let a big, genuine smile slowly flood across your face and into your eyes. That tiny delay makes your smile feel like it was meant just for them. Now let's focus on the power component of charisma. When you walk into a room, feel like you're the biggest person there. Lift your head, open your chest, and set your shoulders back. Then, imagine your body is expanding to take up more space. When you speak, insert more pauses to show that you're in control of your voice. By combining strong posture and confident pauses with presence and warmth, you draw people in and create the foundation for a great conversation. Conversation commandment number 3. Thou shalt be slightly unexpected. Most conversations are painfully predictable and die due to boredom. So whenever possible, inject unexpected answers to questions and be unexpectedly honest. When asked where you're from, don't just say Seattle. Say, I'm from Seattle, where we take our coffee more seriously than our sports teams. When asked, what do you do? Provide some insider information you feel comfortable sharing. Don't just say, I'm a teacher. Say, I'm a high school English teacher who's getting really good at catching students using ChatGPT. When possible, be unexpectedly honest about what you're thinking. If you think an event is awkward, turn to the person next to you and say, is it just me? Or does this feel like a middle school dance with better wine? The point isn't to impress people. The point is to be playful and give your conversation partner material to work with so they find it easier to respond. Think of it like doing improv and giving someone on stage an interesting premise to work with. Conversation commandment number 4, thou shalt ask deep questions. The biggest takeaway from the best communication book I read last year, Super Communicators by Charles Duhigg, was to ask deeper questions. In 2016, Harvard researchers recorded and studied speed dating conversations to see what led to successful matches. The researchers discovered a striking difference between conversations that led to a second date and conversations that went nowhere. They discovered that those who went on to enjoy a second date asked questions that elicited an emotional response. You see, most people ask questions to gather facts, like where are you from or what did you do last weekend? But super communicators and successful speed daters ask questions to generate feelings. Questions like, what do you love most about your hometown? Or what was the highlight of your weekend? These types of questions not only gather information, but also get people to reveal their values, beliefs, and experiences that can help you connect with them on a deeper level. And that's why Charles Duhigg calls these questions deep questions. Super communicators are masters of asking deep questions that don't seem intrusive and get people to reveal what they're feeling without a second thought. You'll find that this is easier to pull off than you imagine. The key is simply to direct your questions toward dreams, elevated experiences, and passions. DEEP, deep. For instance, when you learn what someone does for a living, don't ask, how long have you worked there? Instead ask, do you love doing that? If they say, not really, ask, have you dreamed about doing something else? If the person you're talking to is wearing a college shirt, say, oh, I see you went to, insert the name of the college. What was your favorite experience there? To direct the conversation toward an elevated experience that will elicit emotion. When you learn where someone is living, ask, what do you like most about living there? If they say, it's a great place to raise kids, it's a clue that they love being a parent. You can ask more questions about parenting to get them more emotionally engaged in your conversation. Reframing your questions so that they get at people's dreams, elevated experiences, and passions will typically get people to open up and be a bit more vulnerable. Conversation commandment number 5. Thou shalt make others feel heard. Everyone you talk to craves positive feedback. They want to know you're enjoying and understanding what they're saying. In the book Just Listen, Mark Goulston stresses the importance of using nods and hums to show people that you're tracking what they're saying. He says, a hum is a relationship deepener. It tells people that what they say is important, worth listening to, and worthy of some sort of action. After someone makes a point or finishes a story, show them you are really listening by hitting them with a paraphrase. Simply highlight what you heard in your own words. For example, if someone tells you about spending their Saturday struggling to put together IKEA furniture, don't just say, that must have been frustrating. Instead, echo part of their story by saying, that's hilarious that the shelf was upside down the whole time. Gotta love those IKEA instructions. Those were the 5 conversation commandments that I pulled from the best communication books on the market. I hope you enjoyed them and learned at least one valuable tip. If you would like a one-page PDF summary of these conversation commandments, just click the link below and I'll email it to you. If you're already subscribed to the free Productivity Game email newsletter, this PDF is in your inbox.